You're about to find out the easiest way to start learning SEO in 2024. By the time you leave this video, you're going to have a solid game plan, and you'll be able to rank a website at the top of Google within weeks. Actually, if you're an action taker, you will have a website ranking at the top of Google within weeks. Stay with me. I'm going to blow your mind on how easy this really is. I'm going to have you knowing more about SEO in just a few weeks than most people learn in many years. My name's Greg, and I've been doing SEO for almost 20 years now, and I've done over $100 million in sales. Man, always feels douchey saying something like that, but you need to be careful where you get your information from. And I just want you to know your information is coming from someone who's done this for a very long time, not someone who's just kind of read about it or has played around a little bit. I've created thousands of websites over the years, and I've analyzed tens of thousands on top of that. I've followed the algorithm for almost 20 years now. So I know exactly what works when it comes to SEO. And got great news for you. It is way easier than most people realize. Even the seasoned SEO pros. I see people who've been doing SEO for like 10 plus years. They still make it way too complicated. They'll spend 100 hours optimizing one website when I can spend 10 minutes optimizing the same website and outrank them. So before we get into the actual game plan for how you're going to learn SEO, I want to quickly point out the best way to actually learn SEO. And that is, drumroll please, to actually do SEO. You're going to learn SEO by first seeing the results of my websites. Then I'm going to show you how to do the same thing yourself. Because once you do it and you see the results from your own work, well, that's when the validation happens. The problem with me just showing you my results is the following. Well, he's been doing SEO for like 20 years. Well, there's probably a bunch of things he did behind the scenes that he didn't show us. The doubts start creeping in on you. It isn't until you do it yourself that the knowledge is validated. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm first going to show you the results. I'm then going to show you how I did it step by step. Then I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. And you're going to go off and do it, I hope. So the first thing we're going to do is focus on the things in SEO that provide the biggest results with the least amount of time and effort. There's only a few things we're going to focus on today, and that's all we need. So let's first start with a couple example websites just to show you that I really know what I'm talking about, and so you can start getting the confidence. All right, so I just did a search for Nashville SEO. This is a pretty big term. People are paying about $6 a click for it. Gets a lot of searches. Now, these first three results here first four are sponsored results, which means people are paying for those. The first organic result is NashvilleSEO.org, which is my website. Let's go ahead and bring it up, and you're going to notice something very interesting about this website, NashvilleSEO.org. What you notice is it doesn't look good. And actually, if you read the content, it's pretty bad. You see my name right here, Greg Morrison, at the bottom, just to prove it's me. Now, I got this website in 2013, and it's been ranking up top number one for about 10 years now. And I'm able to do it by having a much worse looking website with much more horrible content, with much worse content than the competition, because I've focused on the few things I'm going to be teaching you in this video. But this is example number one in a pretty competitive term. It was fairly competitive, Nashville SEO. Let's go to another example now. Let's go and search for Delaware SEO. And this is more in the middle of the three examples. Now, Delaware SEO, same thing. We have 4 sponsored results there. And then at number 1, we have Delaware SEO OMG.com. At number 2, we have SEODelaware.net. Both of these are actually my website. So I rank number 1 and number 2 for these. Let's bring these both up. What you're going to notice is these are actually even uglier than the first example. So here's the first one. And what do you notice? It is a very ugly site with horrible content, looks disgusting. There's actually a broken image here. There's no contact information. There's no about. There's no name, address, and phone number. Yet, I outrank all of the competition. Your regular SEO would take a look at this website before it went live, and he would say, if you don't change a ton of stuff, you're never going to rank. Yet, I'm ranking number 1, and I'm beating all the other SEOs out because I focused on what I'm about to teach you. So these examples are to help start giving you that confidence. And then, of course, you're going to do it yourself, which is going to really validate the confidence. Here's website number 2, which is pretty much just as bad. It does have some images on there, but the content's absolutely horrible. It's shitty to read. It doesn't have a name, address, phone number, any of that stuff, yet we rank number 1. Last example, if we go back to Google and we search for Landenberg SEO, which is a city I used to live in, we see some sponsored results there. And then the number one result is a LinkedIn from Greg Morrison, which is mine. Number two is LandenbergSEOagency.com, which is also mine. Number three is Landenberg SEO Fworder.com, which is also mine. And side note, the reason I did this website with the F word in it is because I wanted to test to see if Google would allow me to rank with the F word in a domain. Obviously, they did. So my test was successful here, and I do a lot of testing like this. Number four is also my website, LandenbergSEOguy.com. You can check that out there. I actually have a whole series on our channel here called the Beginner SEO series. If you go to the OMG Academy channel and you click on playlist, you're going to see the Beginner SEO series. This is going to teach you exactly how I did this website. I think I did it in the last video here where I covered exactly how I built this website. And all the steps to doing that are in this beginner tutorial. Just a side note for you. If we go back here, here's my YouTube at number 5 for Landenberg SEO. And then here's my website again with the About page at number 6. So I had the top 6 spots for Landenberg SEO. So now you've seen some examples and some sites that are actually ranking that are really ugly and break a lot of rules. You see, not only do I not need anything special to rank, but I actually purposefully did bad things with SEO to show people it doesn't matter as long as you get the big things right. I broke all the traditional SEO rules, yet I'm still crushing the competition. So how did I do this? I focused on the things that provide the biggest results, and I didn't worry about everything else. So most people go by something like this, okay? And then this is Google's 200 ranking factors, the complete list by Backlinko, which is a reputable SEO place for knowledge. And if you go to this list and you scroll down, you can see it is extremely overwhelming, okay? You're looking at 200 things here that you would supposedly have to do for your website in order to rank well. And again, 200 things is a lot. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take like 100 hours to properly implicate all this stuff. What I do is I say, screw that. I take out the few most important things that I've identified over the last 20 years. I focus on those few things and I ignore everything else. The reason I do this is because the few things I focus on move the needle 99%. The other 190 whatever factors move the needle about 1%. So why am I going to take 100 hours of my time to do these other 190 things that's not really going to move the needle at all? I'm going to focus on the few things that move the 99% and crush everyone else. I'm going to make sure I get those few things exactly right and destroy the competition. And again, for the sites I showed you, that's exactly what I did. All right, so step 1 we've done. I've shown you the results. I've shown you the proof. Now it's time for step 2. It's time for me to show you exactly how to do it, and then it's time for you to actually do it. It's time for you to validate that knowledge. You ready to roll? Let's go. So the first thing that's important for you to understand is the competition differences between the 3 results I just showed you. Now, Nashville SEO is the most competitive of the 3. And as we scroll down here, what you'll notice is I actually have 87 backlinks that are pointing to this domain. Now, for the second example, this is in the middle of the 3. And Delaware SEO is, these sites have some links as well, but they have much less. The first site actually has 10 links going to it. The second one actually has 26. Now, in the last example, we actually have no links going to the websites that are ranking. So what that means is I'm ranking purely based off what I'm about to show you in this video. If we scroll down, you can see the first one is LinkedIn. It has 0 going to the page. I'm just using the authority of this website. These 2 aren't showing, but they have no links going to them. These 3 actually have no links going to them. And that's why I want you to focus on lower competition first, because I want you to first just rank a website in a easier niche. And by the way, we're going to rank in a niche and possibly even start getting traffic. It does, just because it's a lower competition doesn't mean there's no traffic there. We're just going to start here because I don't want you to worry about the linking part yet. I want you to get the extreme basics of on-page SEO down. I want you to rank a website in an easier term. Then you can start watching my videos and learn how to do the off page and move up to the more competitive stuff after you have validated the knowledge for the basics, because this is what builds your foundation. The basics of on-page SEO is your foundation. On top of that is built all the more difficult stuff like building links and the more technical stuff. So I want you to start here, rank a website with the basics, start getting maybe even some traffic, maybe even some leads, and that is going to validate that knowledge. So now what we're going to do is actually go and talk about the few things I'm going to focus on. Actually, for you, it's just going to be like 2 things you're going to focus on, okay? So what you're going to focus on is having your keyword in your domain, and then having your keyword in the title of your page, And then just having the keyword somewhere on your page as an H tag. Now, an H tag is just bigger text like this right here. Okay. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But those are the only 3 things that I need you to focus on when we do the next step of building your own site and getting it to rank within a few weeks. Now, the next thing we're going to do is pick a city that has a lower population amount and has lower competition so we can rank it quickly. Again, we want to start with something that's easy to get you the confidence. So, what I would recommend is going to Google and typing in US Consensus list of cities by population. The number 2 result will be consensus.gov. And if you bring that up, you'll get this right here. And you can choose to view any state you want. And it'll give you all the cities in that state. I personally brought up Pennsylvania, which I'll bring up right here, and you can see all the cities right here. What I recommend is choosing a city that's between like 5 to 10,000 population, maybe even 15,000 should be fine, and going with that. So I'm just going to choose Aliquippa City right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. It has almost 10,000 people in it. So this could actually get a decent amount of traffic if, not decent amount, but it can get some traffic when I start ranking for it, or if I started ranking for it, if I actually did this. So let's go back, and we're going to choose Aliquippa, and what we're going to do is a search. So we're going to come here, and we're going to go to all in title with a colon, and then put in Aliquippa City SEO. And what that's going to do is tell us how many websites out there have Aliquippa City SEO in the title. If you get something like this where there's nothing out there, well, we should definitely be ranking within a few weeks or so with our website, okay? If you do a YouTube video, you would actually probably be ranking within like a few days if you put Aliquippa City SEO in the title of your YouTube video, okay? So we want to see something like this, or very few results, like under 20 or so, and then we can start registering our domain name. Now, what we want to focus on, if we go back to our website again, is having our keyword in the name of our website. So I would go to somewhere like Namecheap to register your website. If you do a search for your name of your city plus SEO, you want to try to get the .com. As we see, this one is available. So I could actually add it to my cart, buy it, and then put up my website. Remember, if you don't know how to put up your website, go to our OMG Academy channel, go to playlist, go to the beginner SEO series, and I show you exactly step-by-step how to do everything. All from how to choose a domain name, how to pick a hosting company, how to connect your domain to your hosting, how to install WordPress and set up WordPress and use it. So if you don't know all that stuff, all that can be found in this beginner SEO series. Now, the next part is actually getting content for your website. Once you get WordPress installed and all that, which you see I'm in WordPress right here for Landenberg SEO effort.com. And here's the article that's actually ranking. Now, this is a horrible article. It's written very, very crappy. So what you can do is find an article like this and just kind of rewrite it yourself. You can do something like that, or you can do something a lot easier. You can use a tool called autoblogging.ai, which I use all the time. And actually, if we go back and we search for Landenberg SEO, the top result for this, the top organic result, my LinkedIn, was actually written with this tool. So that's how you know another validation that this actually works. And this would cost you like $1 to get this done. What I would recommend is joining this tool, go into godlike mode, and then you would just type in Aliquippa City SEO for the name of your title. And then you just come down here and you click on Search SERPs. Now what it's going to do is find the top ranking websites for this term. What you want to do is now click on a couple of them. They're, related to SEO. So this one right here talks about SEO. And then this one right here, this one right here talks about SEO as well. So choose a couple of them, scroll down, and then do create outline based on the outlines of the competition and research SERPs. Now, what this is doing is it's creating an outline based off the websites that are already ranking. So it's saying, hey, if this outline is working for these websites, well, we're going to create an outline for you based off those, and then you can write your article based on that. So once this is done, which should take another 10 seconds or so, you're going to have a full outline on what you can actually write your article on that's already working for your competition. So that eliminates a lot of the, well, what do I do here? What do I do there stuff? You just take the outline and you fill out the regular information. And you can see the outline right here is now ready. You can see it starts with what is Aliquippa City SEO? Why is SEO important for business in Aliquippa City? And it gives you each of the headlines that you would put in your website. Now, if you don't want to write this yourself, you can spend a whole $1 and you can click on Generate Article. Now, once you do that, it will pop up here. And I did this before just so it'd be ready. And then look, within 30 seconds, you have your whole article written. Here's our article based off that outline it just gave us. I would simply just copy this article. I would go to my website, assuming this was my Aliquippa City ones. I would paste it in here. I would publish it, and then boom, we're done. That's it. We're going to demolish the competition simply because we focused on a few things that matter most when it comes to on-page SEO. People, It's as simple as that. Okay. When it comes to learning SEO in 2024, you need to understand that number one, you need to start with the basics. You need to start with mastering on page SEO, but understand it's not as complicated as everyone makes it out to seem. If we went back to that 200 factor list, half of them are probably on page factors. I focus on 3 or 4 things, which again is like keyword in domain or in the URL, keyword in your title, keyword in your H tags, which is your bigger text, and then just making sure your text isn't over optimized for the keyword. And that's it. That's the only thing I focus on. From there, once you see that works, you get your confidence, you get your base, then you can start learning the other stuff, which I always cover in our videos. So make sure you subscribe and get that stuff and comment. Let me know what you think. If you have questions, I'll answer them. Talk to you soon.